President Biden banning Russian oil imports and warning us all we're going to be paying the price at the pump.
We're banning all imports of Russian oil and gas and energy. That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports, and the American people will deal another powerful blow to Putin's war machine. This is a move that has strong bipartisan support in Congress and, I believe, in the country. Americans have rallied to support the Ukrainian people and made it clear we will not be part of subsidizing Putin's war.
Putin's war, that's now going to hit our pocketbooks. We are already paying for it, too, at the pump. You can expect it to climb even higher as well. For more on today's move and what lies ahead, we are joined with ABC's Alex Brachet here in Washington, also Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis. She joins us from New York. Rebecca, let's start with you. What can you tell us about the economic impact that we're going to feel even more because of this? I mean, American drivers are already feeling the shock when we go to pump up our tanks.
Yeah, I mean, Kira, this is not without financial trade-offs for Americans. Right now, the national average is $4.20. That's the highest ever on record, and Americans are spending about $250 million more every day on gasoline than we did just 30 days ago. And poor Americans, this takes the biggest chunk out of their paychecks. It is harder to make up for the missing dollars, and the more money that goes towards gasoline, the less money we have to spend elsewhere. That has ripple effects. That has consequences for the economy over time. But as you said at the top of this, and as the president has made known, this has bipartisan support. 71% of Americans said in the most recent Quinnipiac poll that they're in favor of this, even if it means higher prices. The question, as far as those prices are concerned, is how long do prices stay here? The longer they stay here, the more problematic it becomes for the U.S. economy. And the second element to that is how do we make up this shortfall? The ban on Russian imports coming into the U.S. is significant. It is a significant financial weapon against Putin and Russia in the wake of this escalation, in the wake of this war. But ultimately, how we make up for that, whether we increase domestic production, whether we turn to OPEC and controversial places like Venezuela, Saudi Arabia, and put pressure on them to supply more oil here, those are decisions that also have consequences, Kira.
Okay, and Alex, as you heard, President Biden today, he acted without our European allies. Why is that? And will they be expected to curb Russian oil imports as well?
Well, what was interesting about this, Kira, is that we kind of, the White House had kind of tipped their cap that they might be acting without our allies earlier on in the week, saying that this was a decision that each country or each country bloc was going to have to make with regard to Russian oil and gas. But frankly, the U.S. going ahead without a unified movement because we're in a position where we can, as a large energy producer ourselves. And so the president mentioned that, listen, some of our allies aren't in that same position, but we already have seen some of them start to move in the same direction. The UK announcing that it would be gradually weaning itself off of Russian oil, and I would assume that many of our other allies would follow suit whenever they can.
So, Rebecca, how big of an impact will this actually have on Russia's economy? We're seeing how it's impacting us. We know how it's going to impact us. But how is it really going to affect Putin and the way he rules?
Well, it certainly has an impact. Russia's main source of money is the energy complex. It's their export of energy to the world. The issue is that the United States takes in a very small portion of that, whereas Europe is highly reliant on Russia for its energy. 40% of Europe's natural gas, which goes towards heating homes at this time, it comes from Russia. A large portion, 25, 33% of their oil comes from Russia. And the idea that Europe can really significantly dial that back, there's no way to make up for that level of supply disruption for Europe. And Europe already came into this escalation running short on natural gas supplies. And of course, here we are in the midst of winter. That is the time of year where it takes more of this for people to heat their homes and go about their daily lives.
And Alex, the president was accurate when he said that this Russian oil ban has bipartisan support. And according to a poll, it has the public support as well. But when it comes to the politics of gas prices, Republicans have blamed the president. So how did he defend himself today?
Well, you saw the president again point to the fact that it isn't an issue of drilling more. He once again brought up these 9,000 oil leases that aren't currently being used. We've also heard talk about more use of the strategic oil reserves. But again, kind of pushing back on this Republican notion that we need to drill more, which is something that we've heard from many conservatives in saying that, look, certainly this is something that we're going to feel at the pump, especially in the near future, but drilling more isn't the way. I think Rebecca hit the nail on the head, though. For a lot of Americans, it's going to be how long do we see these increased prices?
All right, Alex Prochet, Rebecca Jarvis, we will follow all the latest developments throughout the day and, of course, the rest of the week as we continue to get more news that's impacting both economies overseas and here. Thank you both so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.